Hey there, YouTube, what's up? Today we are doing a speed build of You Know Him, You Love Him, the one and only Johnny Zest. Today we are going to be making over his entire trailer. If you like this content and want to see more of it, please make sure to drop a like, leave a comment to let me know that you liked it, and always, always, always remember to sub and ring those bell notifications to never miss a video. I'm starting this video pretty much by just gutting the entirety of Johnny's trailer to start fresh. I don't really care for the layout that they made for this, as with most EA builds. Took out all the windows, took out all the walls and everything so that way I could kind of resculpt it, but I kept the overall just like outer shell of this trailer to kind of keep it the feel kind of like Johnny finally upgraded. He finally had the money to put in. More or less, there's actually a story behind most of the items, because if most of you know the backstory of Johnny Zest, he is actually Nancy and Geoffrey's disowned son. And in most of my games, what I like to do is when I am playing as either Johnny Zest or as Geoffrey, I will usually have my female characters marry Geoffrey for his money. Don't come for me. But in all of my gameplay, I always have Geoffrey and Johnny have at least some form of a relationship, of Geoffrey trying to make up for Johnny the fact that Nancy kicked him out of the land grab family. Because we all know Geoffrey isn't the problem in that marriage. Nancy and me can fight outside sometime, but yeah, basically Johnny got booted out of the family because he wanted to go and live a life creating comedy and making people laugh and being a good person instead of being evil and conniving like his mother. He just ended up booted, and after that, none of the land grabs ever really cared about Johnny ever again. But because in the original Sims we didn't have family trees, it never actually pops up that Johnny is on the land grab family tree, so it led to speculation for a very, very long time that Johnny wasn't actually a part of the land grabs. But like, come on guys, Johnny looks exactly like his younger brother. You cannot deny that. And my theory has always been for Johnny that, Nancy got tired of having the goody-goody son that just wanted to, do comedy and didn't want to do all of the evilness. I'm going to pause here and just talk about kind of what I'm doing in the build, of course. But yeah, when I kind of started the living room, I really wanted to make this a space because, Johnny's a comedian. He's an entertainer. He's got to entertain the peoples. So I gave him the kind of like fold out trundle bed just for when he has company and stuff over. So that way they have a place to sleep. And I gave him the windows over in the corner so that way when he's practicing, he can basically practice in front of the audience of his neighbors and the public and give them a little show. But yeah, I also wanted this so that way when you walk into the trailer, you just kind of get like this nice open kitchen. It looks really nice in here. The overall story behind this, especially with Johnny's backstory being what it is, and in my gameplays of him, always having a relationship with his father still, even if it's behind Nancy's back, is basically that all of this stuff he has either gotten given to him from his friends and stuff in the comedy world, how some people do. If like one person gets something new and they just have the extra to give away, or he's just found some of this stuff on the side of the road, or poor Geoffrey just feels bad, finds out his son needed something, and, might accidentally get shipped from Geoffrey's Amazon to Johnny's doorstep. Who knows? Who really can tell? But yeah, overall, I wanted to give this a really comfy vibe because Johnny really seems to like the color red. It doesn't have it in his character make of, what his favorite color is, but a lot of the stuff in his original trailer is kind of giving like red vibes. So I wanted to keep that going, just keep it nice for him. Johnny really deserves some nice things. He's a really nice character. His trailer really isn't bad for what it is, especially starting out. I give him this little bathroom in his room. If you stay to the end of the video, you'll see that I end up actually taking this bathroom out and replacing it with like a get ready closet for when he's going on his comedy shows and stuff like that. Yeah, I thought it was a really cute idea to give it a bathroom at first, but then ended up changing my mind that he would really just need like a get ready space where he can sit, he can write out his jokes and stuff, he can get ready. I ended up thinking that that was a much better use of that space that I created in there. But overall, I just wanted to give this like the feel of he's kind of rubbing it in his dad's face almost of, hey, look, I can still do well without you, even if he might still be getting a tiny bit of daddy's help on the side. And if you notice, I am putting plants kind of everywhere with all of the green going on outside of Johnny's house and the fact that he has like the little gardening plot out here and everything. I really wanted to lean into that and kind of give him like, he doesn't get all of the love and nurture that he needs. So he kind of puts that love and nurture that he wants to be able to give and receive into these plants that he buys. And he spends most of his money on plants. He's that guy. He is that guy. You cannot take him into Lowe's without him needing to frolic through the flowers. Like, and he's always coming out with a plant, and it's always the one that's, you know, slightly damaged, but he knows what to do. He knows what to do, and he can bring this plant back to life and give it just a whole new look. But overall, I just wanted to give this like a really green space, really liven up Johnny's little. His trailer was very dark, very damp before, kind of just was not giving good vibes. But yeah, basically right here, I'm just kind of laying everything out the way I want it, throwing in some decorations. You will notice that I upsized that rocket ship poster. I like to think of that as that's something that Johnny took from the land grab home that he grew up in. That's a painting, poster, whatever you may have it, that is in that frame that he has had since he was a child, and he kind of cherishes that from like the few happy years that he did have with his parents before, you know, he became 18 and got kicked out of the house, or however old he was when he was inevitably just yeeted from the family. But yeah, overall, I wanted to just kind of give it this little just overall feel of like Johnny's moving on to the future, but he still has some skeletons in his past. So, and I definitely went with kind of like a little space theme, but also some music theme when it comes to the art going around the room, you know. But yeah, in his bedroom, I really wanted to have like the original rocket ship painting that he had. I put that other rocket ship painting in there, and then I really put the sad clown in there because I was like, if anybody's gonna have a sad clown in their bedroom while looking happy as hell, it's gonna be Mr. Zest. It is always going to be Mr. Zest. But yeah, now I'm just kind of decorating the kitchen and stuff, putting a few things around. I definitely think that Johnny would end up like Johnny is a perfectionist, let's be honest. He needs to be. He got kicked out of the only home he ever knew, and it breeds a people pleaser. It's going to breed a people pleaser. So Johnny is going to want to be able to cook and, you know, make all of his friends happy through food. So I wanted to give him a really nice space in his kitchen to cook and to entertain people because he got booted out of his family, so he needs to create his own new family. So he wants to make his entire house with the vibes of, you know, come on in, you're welcome. You guys are going to hear me say the phrases you know and probably 8,000 times, so get used to it. But we love you here. All right. I think now I'm just focusing on... Oh, yeah, I found the chickens, and it gave me an idea for another build of making a lady's house whose entire, like, personality is decorative chickens. Because we all know somebody like that. And if you are that person, we love you. We absolutely love your chicken obsessions. It's cute. It's fun. But yeah, I was just overall kind of getting everything decorated and put around. I gave him these little planters inside and kind of just went overall crazy with the idea of the plants. I thought it turned out cute. And then over in the corner, I put all of the extra guitars along with his guitar. So that way, while he's, doing his comedy thing, maybe he's doing some musical comedy. We love that for him. But yeah, I got to keep with the plant obsession and keep it going throughout the house. So I definitely decorated like the bathroom with a bunch of plants and stuff. And I put these little baby shoes up top so that way when Geoffrey comes over to like hang out and stuff, he can just look up and all he sees is these little, baby shoes being rubbed in his face of, this is the son you gave up. him and him and Joffrey have a relationship. It may not be the best in my games in my head, but Joffrey tries. Joffrey's a good man. Justice for Joffrey. But yeah, I ended up putting this little. I started with an island piece and then ended up making it just an extra little counter piece. But I wanted to make it look different than the actual counters and use kind of that mobile piece just so that way it really gives the idea that, he just went out and kind of bought a stand to put his microwave on because he didn't have enough counter space. But I feel like we've all kind of been there. At least I have. I used to have a specific miniature dining room table that was just for my microwave. Anyone else been there? Or am I the only weird one that had to get like a whole separate thing because I just did not have counter space to put my gigantic microwave on? Because for some reason I got given a free industrial sized microwave, and you know what? Still works. Is the best microwave I've ever owned. But boy howdy does that thing take up some space, man. And as you can see in Joffrey's room, I did also keep up with the red theme that we have going on here. I put some dirty clothes on his floor because, let's be honest. Oh, did I just call him Joffrey? Sorry, Johnny. But over here in Johnny's room, I just kind of kept with the red themes. Put some clutter on his floor because, let's be honest, Johnny's not the cleanest guy in the world. He tries, he really does. He keeps his overall space neat, but I feel like he would be the guy that, his entire space is absolutely immaculate, but his bedroom floor is nasty. But yeah, at this point, I had just been experimenting with lights, trying to get stuff moved around. I added a little dining room table over here, switched some doors around. And I think we're making our way out. Yep, we're finally making our way outside to get some windows in because the whole place is a little dark and needs some natural lighting. I don't know why I, kind of created that window instead of just using the, 3-panel window that already looks like that. But, we're just going to ignore that. And I just felt better creating my own customized window. I put this utility box in the back and then wanted to make this an actual porch. But of course we had to focus and add in Johnny's little garden over here. So I did that. Got the porch extended around. I didn't want to make it too wide just because it's not, it's an added on porch to a trailer. So I really wasn't trying to go too grand. I just kind of wanted it to wrap around a little bit. Like Johnny's just spent a lot of time. Or, Joffrey is, slipped Johnny enough money so that way he doesn't have to feel bad about the living conditions of the son that he gave up. But we can't all, be like Joffrey and just pay off our sons to love us. Wish it was that easy. I say while having absolutely no children other than 4 cats and 2 dogs, but some people would say that counts. Some people would say that doesn't count. Discourse in the comments. Do kids count as pets? I feel like they should in some cases. Mine are a full-time job, man. You wouldn't think that 4 cats would be a full-time job, but when 3 out of the 4 are absolutely psychotic and then the other one came from the streets, it's insane. All right, at this point, I'm still just kind of like focusing on getting the outside kind of the way I want it. This is another thing that if you stay to the end of the video, you'll definitely see that I kind of redo a bit of the outside, more or less. I just redo the roof of the trailer. And I change the color of the porch. But overall, I'm just throwing down a very slight amount of some terrain paint, making sure everything's where I want it. I created this new opening onto the porch over here that I really liked. I ended up changing this a couple of times and having to fix the terrain paint, as you'll see in a moment. Why can they never, like, I don't understand what happens when the Sims team makes terrain, because you'll have the initial terrain that's down, and then I can never find the actual swatch that they used to lay stuff down. So I don't know if they just use 8,000 or at least like, 2 or 3 different terrain paints and layer them all together. But it takes me like a good minute to get the terrain paints to blend to actually look like somewhat decent. And that's like as much as I was able to get that to actually blend. I started putting these palm trees everywhere, and then I ended up kind of just not liking it. I was trying to get a little more green onto this lot without it looking like, we're in the middle of the desert. There's not really going to be any green anywhere that there isn't water. So I kind of added these rocks and made this little pond over here in the corner. I ended up going like way overboard with adding fish and ducks and other things into this, so I ended up having to delete it. You will definitely be seeing that in a second. Just me clicking away, adding things. I just always think adding the ducks and the little mosquitoes and the fireflies and everything is always just a really good touch to any build that you do with water, especially if it's like a little pond. But I did still keep it with the desert theme as far as the plants and stuff go. I didn't go too crazy, just kind of put some green around the water. Made it look a little more natural. Added a couple more rocks. But yeah, we're getting towards the end. Oh god, this is just the spam clicking. This is what I mean. This is what I went absolutely ham. And then I put it into live mode to see what it looked like. And oh my goodness, it was broken. It wasn't necessarily broken, but it was like too much. So that's me deleting what I wanted to and then rearranging stuff so they're more spread out. And I was actually happy with that. Deleted a few of the bugs because it looked like we just had freaking a mosquito swarm about to attack. Added a log and some lily pads. I always think lily pads are a great addition. And here we are. We are in the area where I am going to take you on a tour. I'm not even going to lie, guys. This did take me longer to figure out than it probably should have been. To get this angle to actually go through here. But here we are in the kitchen. Look at all the lovely green. Look at all the plants. I'm going to go into the living room. I think this turned out really nice. Just a nice little seating area. And I put those little trophies in that cabinet down there if y'all caught it. And the bathroom. Feel guilty, Dad. Feel so guilty. All right, we're back into the kitchen. We're going to go into the bedroom area. There's the little mirror in the corner. But yeah, this is kind of what the bedroom turned out like. And we'll go into his bathroom. Oh, the plant's clipping through the wall. Oops. But yeah, this bathroom's kind of plain, but I really didn't want to do much with it. This whole build for me is kind of a little plain. I just wasn't trying to overdo this one too much. We'll probably do something bigger in another video. But so far, that is Johnny's house. Let's go see what he thinks of it. Mr. Zest? But yeah, I always feel like Johnny is more of like a sit around the campfire kind of guy. We'll come over to the pond real quick before we see how Johnny likes his house. But yeah, overall with this build, I just wanted, to give Johnny a better life. He deserves it. He's one of the better NPCs out there. One of my favorites. He's just a good guy. Here I'm turning the full autonomy on so that way I can send Johnny into the house, and I want to see what he goes and does first. Come on, Johnny, get in here. Get in your new bachelor pad. Check it out. What do you think? What do we think? We're going to read a book. He's reading a book on comedy because he's so excited to use his new comedy space, guys. He is so excited that he needs to study his craft. We love to see it. We love to see a literate king. We really do. This is the area where I kind of redo the roof, at least give it a better shape and stuff. It took me a second to remember how to reshape roofs. I'm a little embarrassed to admit that, but here we are. And then I added the brown around the bottom of the porch and then put some wood. I thought that the color change actually made a big difference in the way that the outside looks. And I added these windows up top just to kind of give it like a lot fuller of a look. And I kind of experimented with some of these plants on the front and ended up settling on these green ones from, I think it's the Jungle Pack. Yeah, and then I basically took out Johnny's bathroom in here and replaced it with an area for him to get ready before his comedy shows, because I thought this was a lot more useful for him than an extra bathroom for no reason. So I added in this kind of like get ready table for him. I don't keep it in this corner. I put it off to the other wall. And I put in a bunch of these string lights just to make it look kind of cute. But yeah, I wanted to keep it with the theme of, he just kind of got given these things, so it's almost like an outside looking table. And I put the mirror in here. And I add a bunch of things to this table, some pencils for him to write with, some comedy books, quote unquote, just kind of, what they are in my head. And one of the journals, so that way he can write down his jokes and stuff, some makeup and stuff for getting ready, some cologne. And then I took out the door and added like a much bigger doorway. And then all I kind of did in this area was I ended up adding these speakers outside, so that way when he's doing, his little comedy shows in the windows, his neighbors can hear him. But yeah, guys, that's going to be the end of this video. That's the whole, speed build. I appreciate you guys sticking around to the end, and if you can remember to like, comment, and subscribe, I would be very grateful. I appreciate you guys for being here, and for the next video, bye!